A lot to get to today. We're going to be recapping the Thursday games and Friday games, November 6th and 7th, 2025. I did do a little bit of a layout for the official 2K roster update that came out on Thursday. That's going to be in a separate video. I'm not sure exactly how deep I want to dive on the update, but I do have some major bullet points that I definitely want to check. Let's just get onto the games. We got the Phoenix Suns going up to 4-5 on the season. Jalen Green made his debut. Ryan Dunn moved to the bench. Grayson Allen was the starting small forward. And Green had a team high 29 points. Pretty good debut for him. Booker added 24. Grayson Allen 18 points, 4 threes. Royce O'Neal had 17, and even Mark Williams 13 and 10. And Ryan Dunn 10 off the bench. So they got a solid contributions all the way down. Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard for the third straight game due to a sprained ankle, and James Harden also sat this one out. So Clippers were definitely shorthanded. Bradley Beal got not exactly a revenge game against his former team, the Phoenix Suns. He did complain about the way that he was used with the Suns. I don't know how he's going to feel about the way he's being used by the Clippers by the end. He had 5 points on 2 of 14 from the field. Disgusting. 2K dropped him to like a 78 or 79, 77, I think. Actually, really low. The way he's playing right now, yeah, I got to drop him for sure. There's a lot of players who I got to get their ratings a little behind on the actual ratings development in my roster. I'll notate those here and there. I got to drop a few of the Clippers bench players. Zubats, he had 23 and 11. Cam Christie, for what it's worth, got 17 points in 25 minutes off the bench. I believe that's his season high, or not season high, but definitely season high. I think it's his career high. He hasn't played very much at all in his career. I think only like 68 minutes last year or something. A little bit of news before we move on to the whatchamacallit, I didn't add him yet. Okay. To the Friday games, Mac McClung got waived. He was on a non-guaranteed deal, and the Pacers ended up bringing back Monte Morris, who was with them in the preseason, and then suffered an injury, and they cut him because they needed a healthy player. Obviously, they went through a couple point guards, and then settled on Mac McClung during the they essentially needed to sign him so that they could sign other players to the hardship exceptions because they didn't have a full 15-man roster. So he signed a non-guaranteed deal, made like $100,000 for his time on the roster, about a week or so, 3 games, and they waive him. And now that Morris is healthy, obviously they prefer having him on the team instead. Mac McClung, he's not really a prospect anymore. He's on the older side. He's like 27 in January. He's only like 2.5 years younger than Monte Morris. Monte Morris has 10,000 NBA minutes under his belt, and obviously a great assist-to-turnover ratio in his career. So he'll probably fit in at least as like a third-string point guard with what the Pacers want to do. Probably gets waived as soon as like Nemhard and McConnell come back. Maybe not. We'll see. As every dollar matters in this luxury tax apron environment. All right, let's go on over to the Orlando Magic. They finally won a game. Wow. On the covering the Friday games, Desmond Bane had his breakout. Magic, by the way, beating the Celtics 123 to 110. But Bane, finally, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Prime example of why I don't freak out over low shooting numbers in the first 2 weeks. I still have him at 85 overall. He could very easily come around after a slow start to the year. Franz Wagner had 27 points in this one. Paulo Banchero, 15 points, 4 of 10 from the field in 36 minutes. I assume that the field goal attempts are a season low. And then Jalen Suggs, he's still stuck on that 20-minute limit. Had 14 points in 21 minutes, so at least he's effective in his limited minutes. Magic were 17 of 36 from three-point range in this one, 47%. So let's see if they're able to keep it going, because shooting has obviously been their weakness for the last few years. And Celtics, they dropped to 4-6. Jalen Brown still chugging along at a 30 with 32 points. I got to get him up to just like a 90, 91-ish kind of range. Peyton Pritchard broke out of his shooting slump. 27 points, 5 of 8 from 3. He came in shooting like 22% from 3 or something like that. And then Derek White, still struggling a little bit with the shot, but he had a solid game as well. 16 points, 10 assists, 3 steals. I am more reluctant to drop players in rating. 2K dropped him down to like an 84. I think he should go down just a little bit, but I'm still, I don't overreact to small sample sizes with in regards to shooting numbers, because there's a lot of high variance that goes on with these. White himself is shooting like 20, 21, 22% from 3 right now as well. He's not going to shoot that for the entire season. Like, just give it a month, everything's going to level out. Going over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Speaking of things leveling out, they moved to 6-3 on the year, trucking the Washington Wizards 148 to 114. Darius Garland, back in full swing. He struggled in his first game back, but had 20 points, 9 assists in 28 minutes. Donovan Mitchell, extended garbage time, so everybody only played in like the mid-20s in minutes, but Mitchell had 24 points in 26 minutes. Allen double-doubled with 16 and 14 in 26 minutes. Mobley, 18 and 10 in 28 minutes. DeAndre Hunter was back, so they're basically fully healthy aside from Max Strus. Worth noting that Tyrese Proctor, given all the extended garbage time, had a career high 17 points on 5 of 6 from 3. So I'm sure 2K is going to boost him up to an 87 3-point or some crazy shit. But let's go on over to the Wizards. They dropped to a league worst 1-8. All is right with the world again. Wizards are the worst team in the league. Keyshawn George missed this one, as did Bilal Coulibaly. Chris Middleton was back, so he entered the starting lineup at the 4. And then Trey Johnson got the first start of his career at the 3. So they started CJ and Bub Carrington, and then Trey Johnson at the 3. Maybe might explain why the Cavs won by 34. But Trey, he was effective on the offensive end at least. Had 18 points, 7 of 11 shooting in 29 minutes. I do need to get his rating up as well, as he's been one of the better rookies so far this season, at least scoring the ball. He's essentially like rookie version of Cam Thomas. CJ McCollum also having a little bit of a resurgence of late. He had 25 points on 8 of 16 from the field. He seems to function better at shooting guard rather than point guard, so that obviously makes a little bit of sense. He's been a shooting guard for most of his career. Obviously, him playing the point this year is asking a little bit too much of him, given how much he has struggled. Carrington, he's also struggled, but he's more of a natural point guard. They should probably switch their roles. He had 6 points on 2 for 12 from the field, but he did add 11 assists in this one. So that is his forte, is at least controlling the ball, not necessarily putting the ball in the basket. He's like very erratic. Great mid-range scorer, but like these ratings are kind of overrated, I think. Let's go on over to the Toronto Raptors. They moved to 5-4 on the year, taking down the Hawks 100 to 97. 7 Raptors in double figures. Ingram had 20, RJ 19. Quickly, importantly, had his best game of the year, 18, 5, and 6 with 3 steals. The Raptors held the Hawks to 34% shooting and 24% from 3, so that'll help their defensive rating, which was not great coming into this one. Hawks dropped to 4-5. Dyson Daniels, obviously filling in at point guard with Trae Young out. They're going to struggle offensively on some nights. He had 7 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 for 10 from the field. Jalen Johnson added 21. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 20, and then Porzingis had 17 in somewhat limited minutes. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. The Hawks were 9 of 38 on threes in this one. Gross. Going over to the Pistons, they won their 5th game in a row, beating the Brooklyn Nets 125 to 107, moving up to 7-2 on the season. Cade Cunningham 34 and 10, 10 assists of course, and then Jalen Duren 30 and 11 rebounds. Isaiah Stewart left this game with an ankle injury after 9 minutes. Detroit's already without Tobias Harris. Stewart started at the 4, so it looks like we're going to have a clear path for Ron Holland if Stewart has to miss any extended time. Also worth noting, man, I'm really bad with the transactions in this. I've been busy the last couple of days, but the Pistons claimed Isaac Jones off of waivers from the Sacramento Kings. So he's going to slot into the 15th man role. He has a non-guaranteed contract, so they could cut him loose at any given point. Kings were maybe considering bringing back Jones on the two-way if he did clear waivers, but he did not. So he's perfect timing, I guess, with Stewart out. Isaac might get some a little bit of run that we didn't necessarily see coming when the Pistons made that claim. The Nets, they dropped to 1-8. Cam Thomas was announced he's going to be out the next 3 to 4 weeks with the left hamstring strain. It is the same one that he hurt last year, which limited him to 25 games. So, we'll see. They're gonna err on the side of caution, and he's obviously just focused on his unrestricted free agency more than anything else. So Igor Demin finally started at point guard. 8.7 assists, 23 minutes, his best game of his young career so far. Michael Porter Jr., 28 points at small forward. Noah Clowney continued to start. He had 19 points. He's been really good the last two. I got to get his rating up. Should definitely be higher than Highsmith. Nick Claxton had 17, only 2 assists in this one with an actual point guard out there. So just keep an eye on that. I haven't gotten my rating in for Claxton yet, but his pass ratings were trending upward based on the way that he was being used the last couple games. Terrence Mann had a little bit of a dud, 3 points, 22 minutes at shooting guard in this one. So I did change his position. We'll see. He's another player that I need to get the ratings in for. He's been underrated for like the past couple of years. Like some of this shit is. It's always like the defensive ratings and stuff. He's a better defender than this. Better athlete too. Like this is fucking crazy. 71 speed. So obviously he rates higher at small forward than shooting guard by 2 points. The fact that the shooting guard formula and small forward formula aren't like near identical is just fucking stupid. Also, very fortunate that they started Demon at point guard in this one, because otherwise I was going to change it to point guard where he rates even lower. And this is with his intangibles already maxed out, so like he's underrated, but like even if I fixed him up, he probably would only be like a 75 at point guard. So yeah, this is not great. I got to do some work on the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go on over to the Spurs. They move up to 6-2, taking down the Rockets in a highly anticipated matchup, 121-110. They ended the Rockets' 5-game winning streak. Wemby, 22 points. Harrison Barnes had 24 points, and Justin Champagnie, Justin's on the Wizards. Julian had 22 points. The two of them combined for 46 points on 12 of 22 from 3. So Champagnie definitely needs a higher three-point rating. He's been underrated for the last couple of years. In general, basically anybody who's not in the top 100 players usually gets the shaft from 2K. I gotta get him definitely a lot higher. I did a Luke Cornett. Sohan I'm not as high on, but this is kind of low too. Yeah. And then Stefan Castle had 14 points and 13 assists in this one. It was announced that De'Aaron Fox is going to be back on Saturday, so major question of how the Spurs are going to handle that. Castle's been starting at point guard. Are they going to start him at the 2 or use him behind Fox? Are they going to bring Fox off the bench? Are they going to play Fox, Castle, Vassell, and who's their starting small forward? I guess Champagnie maybe moves to the bench is my guess, but I don't like the losing shoot. You want shooting with Victor in there, man. And then the Rockets, they dropped to 5-3 on the year. Alperen Sengun, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Pretty good stats against Wemby. But Kevin Durant, 24 points, had 8 turnovers in this one. The defensive pressure from guys like Stefan Castle, I should say, hindering him a little bit. KD is not the star that he once was. Definitely going to see his rating drop down, probably to the low 90s, if not 89 or something before the end of the year. And then Reed Shepherd was solid again. He's been good in the last couple games. He had 16 points, 6 assists in this one, starting to resemble an actual NBA player. Miami Heat, they took down the Charlotte Hornets 126 to 108 behind a 53-point first quarter. They had 53 points for the rest of the game. Wait, no, that's not true. That's not how math works. They had 73 points over the next 3 quarters, but 53 in the first, 73 in the next 3 is pretty cray. They went 21 of 31 from the field and had 0 turnovers to Charlotte's 7. So defense leading to offense. Bam sat this one out, so Khalil Ware got the start, but he was actually kind of ineffective with 7 points on 3 of 13 shooting. Not really as efficient as you would like for a center. I think some of these are too low. He's not like consistent enough of a 3-point shooter in a lot of games. Norm Powell had 25 points in this one. He's consistently been the Heat's best offensive player this year. Andrew Wiggins started at the 4 again, so I did change his position. He had 22 points. Pele Larson started at the 3. He had 19. Jaquez off the bench. I need to get his rating up as well. He had 18, 8, and 9 off the bench. He's been really good this year. I did change Jacques to shooting guard. I'm not sure if maybe I'm supposed to change Drew Smith, but I feel like Smith is like the backup point guard right now. Jacques is like out of the rotation. Pretty sure Larson just plays like a lot of the backup 2 minutes behind Powell because they give they're still playing Wiggins a lot at the 3. Jovic and Fontecchio are at the 4. Positions are kind of weird with 2K. Yeah, let's go on to the Hornets. They dropped to 3 and 6. LaMelo missed his 3rd straight game. Sexton was also out for this one, so they started Trey Mann, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in 35 minutes. Also a career high for Concanipple. He had 30 points in this one. Going over to the Dallas Mavericks, they dropped to 2 and 7. They are last in the Western Conference. And they just lost Daniel Gafford 12 minutes into the game, left with a sore ankle. Or he did not return because his ankle was sore, but he had some sort of ankle injury during the game. If he has to miss time, it's not looking great. Like, this is the last year all over again where AD's out, Lively's out, Gafford might be out, and then they have nothing at the 5. Powell played only like 9 minutes in this one. Musa Cisse had 10 points and 8 rebounds in 14 minutes. So look for him to be this year's Kessler Edwards, playing 26 minutes a game on a 2-way contract. PJ Washington was okay in this one. Klay Thompson, not 0 points, 0 for 6 off the bench. Max Christie led them in scoring with 18. Cooper Flagg was quiet with 12 points. Dallas has the worst offense in the league. Not great. Go figure when they built the team around Luka and then they traded Luka. This is, the fact that Nico has a job still, I mean, even after the Luka trade and then the whole summer, but like that he has a job 2 weeks into the year based on how things are going is like actually kind of crazy. Just shows how dysfunctional they are at the moment. The Memphis Grizzlies, they took down the Mavs 118 to 104 in this game. Ja Morant, he had 21 points, 13 assists, 7 of 20 though from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 7 turnovers. So the counting stats look good, but overall an actual pretty bad performance, which he's been putting a lot of those together of late. Colin Coward has been consistently the best offensive player for the Grizz. He had 21 points in 28 minutes off the bench. He is my number 2 rookie on the season. And then let's dive in a little bit on Ja Morant's ratings and production so far, not including this game. He came into this game with a 49 true shooting percentage on 32% usage. Last year he was 56 true shooting on 32 usage. Only 14% from 3 this year. For his career, he's at 31%. 49% from 2-point range is a career low. He was also at 52% last year. Memphis is 26th offensively, 25th in defense. Last year they were 6th and 10th. Morant has a negative 1.3 offensive box plus minus, and then a negative 2.3 defensive box plus minus. Both of those are career lows by far. And the ratings that I would give for I have a scale for Ocon and Decon based on box plus minus. For a negative 1.3 offensive box plus minus, that would be a 55 rating. And then for a negative 2.3 defensive box plus minus, this would be a 45. So just to give you an idea of how much I did drop these ratings, but just to give an idea of how much further we could actually take this. He's gonna lose another point. Yup. And then if we based his shot IQ, we could drop that. I mean, he's shooting so bad from 3. This probably could go down a little bit too. I did drop his layup rating, but basically, he's playing a low 80s player rather than a superstar. So I did drop his overall rating an additional 2 points. He started off the year at a 91. 2K in their roster dropped him to an 89, which was one of my major bullet points that I'll get to, is they brought Maxey up 2 points to an 89 and Ja Morant down 2 points to an 89. But those players, they are nowhere fucking close in value. Nobody in any planet is taking Ja over Maxey right now. 2K is the coward stream. They still have Embiid rated higher than Maxey, which is kind of crazy. But I did do a 15-point drop to his offensive consistency, -5 to his layup, -5 to his 3, -4 to his steal rate. That's kind of reflecting in they were a lot worse on defense. Unrelated, I had his help defense up overrated a little bit, so I had to drop that also by 5 points. Pass perception down 5 points. He's not a good defensive player. And it's been a while since the Grizz have actually been really good on that end. Let's go on over to the Bulls. They move up to 6-2 on the season. Josh Giddey, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 14 assists. Matas Buzelis had 20, and Ayo Dosunmu back in the lineup. So again, we're going to dive a little bit on Josh Giddey's ratings, which I have already done a rating update on him. Just another quick hitter. Giddey has 77 pick and roll ball handler possessions in 7 games, which is 11 possessions per game. That is much improved from last season, so I gave him a +5 in ball handle to a 90. He's creating a lot more off the dribble than he previously did. And then his free throw attempts, he's averaging 6.3. This is double from last season. Double, plus 3.1 from last year. So I updated his draw foul rating, boosted that by 10 points. He's got a 40% assist rate, which is plus 8% from last year. So I boosted his pass rating by 5 points. And overall, he is an 86 +1, now has the highest rated on the Bulls. So I have been able to keep up with a couple teams here and there, lagging behind on a few, but I feel like the Sixers, Bucks, and Bulls, at the very least, I have a pretty good grasp on them. And they took down the the Milwaukee Bucks in this one, 126 to 110. I'm sorry, no, they didn't. They didn't take down the Bulls. The Bucks won. The Bucks beat the Bulls. They move up to 6-3 on the year. I'm sorry, Bulls got their second loss, moving to 6-2. Whoopsie daisy. But Giannis had another dominant performance, very well deserving of the 99 rating that I've got him with. 41 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists. Season high in points for Miles Turner. Again, this is why I don't overreact to shooting ratings, to shooting percentages and stuff. He's going to come around. Ryan Rollins, also another solid game with 20 points. I did drop a few of Turner's ratings. He's only averaging 10 points per game compared to 16 last year. Career low in field goal percentage with only 40. That I don't really care about, but he's also part of why that is his free throw rate is way down. He's only averaging a career low 1.5 free throws per game, and because of that, factoring both of those in, career low 52 true shooting percentage, which is really dismal for a center. It has been 60 plus for the last 5 years, his true shooting percentage. So I did drop just like his offensive consistency, shot IQ, and then his draw foul a little bit. Bobby Portis also has been struggling a lot. Only 47% true shooting and only 2 free throws on the season. Not 2 free throws per game, 2 free throws. So I dropped his draw foul, and like offensive consistency, stuff like that. Also, his defensive playmaking is really lacking, even for his standards. I haven't dropped these yet, but they could easily be like 15 points worse. That's how bad it's been so far. So I've got him at like a 79 overall as well. We'll see. In past years, he's been like the de facto sixth man for the Bucks, but now they actually have a lot more depth. So he's actually coming off he's kind of like their eighth man, more so than like their sixth man. And then AJ Green, he's averaging 12 points on the year, has an 80 true shooting percentage. So I did boost up like his shot IQ and offensive consistency just to get him up one more overall point. Going over to the Minnesota Timberwolves, they beat the Utah Jazz 137 to 97. 40-point blowout for them. They move up to 5-4. Anthony Edwards had 37 points in only 26 minutes. He hit 7 threes. Julius Randle triple-doubled in only 26 minutes in 19, 10, and 12. And then Jaden McDaniels added 22. Absolute domination for the Wolves over the Jazz, who looks like with Kessler's injury, the tank is in full effect. Season lows for Lauri Markkanen, 21 points in 21 minutes. I'm sorry, 12 points in 21 minutes. Both of those are season lows. And then Ace Bailey, hilariously enough, season highs for him with 12 points and 24 minutes. Isaiah Collier made his return, which pushed Taylor Hendricks to the bench. And then he actually started, and then Keontae George, he started at the 2 next to Collier. George had 18 points, only 2 assists at shooting guard. He had been averaging a career high in assists. His assist percentage was somewhere in like either the high 30s or like 40%ish range. So he's got an 84 pass vision, but only 2 assists. Collier is probably going to cut into that. So keep an eye on that. That's probably going to drop if he keeps playing the 2. Let me see if I have to fix anything. So Svi slid up to the 3, and then Markkanen played the 4. I think the easiest way to fix that is I'm just going to turn off starter for all the 4s. Bailey. Yeah, like everybody kind of needs it. I thought I turned off Filipowski. I probably have it on Collier, right? I do not. Oh, Filipowski, I thought I did it on. Please, God. No! No! Of course, also have to do all the 2 ways. Basically, all the 2 ways need to have force non-starter on them. I think we got it. Yeah, okay. Moving on to the Denver Nuggets. They moved to 6-2, taking down the Golden State Warriors 129 to 104. Jokic close to a triple-double, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He's been a little more aggressive offensively. He started the year off not scoring as many points, focusing more on passing. Jamal Murray, for what it's worth in this one, 23 and 8. He's probably having his best regular season of his career. And then Jonas Valanciunas, a season high 16 points in 16 minutes off the bench. He's been really good as the backup for Valanciunas. I mean, for Jokic, that they have really lacked in the last few years. Golden State drops to 5-5 on the year. Curry was out again with an illness. Draymond got the start at center. Led the team in scoring with 17. Obviously, that's never a great sign. Butler returned from a one-game absence. He had 16. Moses Moody struggled though, as did Pods. Moody, where's he at? He had 2 points on 1 of 9 shooting. Kuminga wasn't effective either. 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting. He's been struggling a little bit more recently. Might have to drop him back down. Quentin Post had, I think, his best offensive game of the season. 14 points on 6 of 6 from the field. 2 for 2 from 3. Coming off the bench, I think Al Horford was a DNP in this one. I didn't actually check, but he's only been playing one half of back-to-backs. And then Will Richard, I need to get his rating up. One of my criticisms of the 2K roster is they boosted him up to a 75, almost entirely based on one game where he dropped 30 against the Kings, which happened hours before the actual 2K roster launched. Again, one of my notes in this on the official update is the Warriors had 12 rating updates, which is the all-time record. Basically, every standard contract player except for Melton, who's hurt, and Quentin Post had an overall rating change. This includes guys like Trace Jackson-Daniels, Davis, and Guy Santos, who have barely played. Everybody had an overall rating change. Like, the Bay Area bias that 2K has is fucking crazy. For every single player on the Warriors to get an edit, when meanwhile they have Steven Adams is still rated lower than Clint Capella, even though Clint Capella barely plays and Adams has started a couple games. Just absolutely sad. Just look around the rest of the league, guys. This is not your playpen for just your personal pet favorite team. And for Will Richard to be a 75 overall with multiple silver badges. He's played 60 minutes in his fucking career, and he's got silver badges, 5 silver badges. We could tell all this based on one fucking game against the Kings. Get the fuck out of here. Thanks for coming to my crash out. I think the last game we got to cover is the OKC Thunder. Got back to their winning ways, taking down the Kings, 132-101. Isaiah Hartenstein, career high, 33 points, 19 rebounds, one short of his career high there. 14 of 17 from the field. LOL Kangs. AJ Mitchell continued starting. He was solid again, 18 points, 10 assists. I did boost his rating. I got to get him up even further. It was a career high 10 assists for him. Essentially, he was the point guard in this game with Kaysen at the 2. SGA is your starting point guard who can also play the 3. He had 30 points in this one. Obviously, the Kings are a good matchup to also employ that because they only have guards. No Sabonis again for the Kings, so Drew Eubanks got another start. He had 16 points. Maxime Reynaud played 24 minutes. He had 8 points, 10 rebounds off the bench. Dennis Schroeder. Zach LaVine actually came back. He had 9 points in, I think, 30 minutes. He was not aggressive offensively. And Dennis Schroeder had 2 points on 0 for 10 shooting in this one. So somehow, they gave him $14 million a year, and then they signed Russell Westbrook, who's playing fucking power forward for them on a minimum. Westbrook had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists in this one. They're getting killed in all of these games. It's the most empty fucking crazy stats. They're losing these games by 20, 30 every night, and Westbrook is just chugging along, getting the emptiest fucking triple doubles imaginable. And this is essentially what Kings basketball has devolved into. Anyway, I don't want to do another crash out. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I gotta go to sleep, wake up for work tomorrow, and then knock out some ratings that I've been promising you guys, and also maybe record that official 2K roster video. Although you heard a little bit of the notes that I have, sprinkled throughout this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow.